So, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for taking out time from your busy schedule to be part of the webinar. I am Kriti, co-founder of Store Repo and Mystore. With me, I have Rajiv, who is founder and CEO of Store and Mystore. I also
Hi
have
everyone.
I also have Mystore team, Pallavi, Praful, and Saurabh. I would also like to introduce to Dhruv, Mangal, and Vidushi Singh from ONDC Expansion and Marketing team.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much
Okay.
for joining this call.
And thank you, Vidushi and Dhruv, for joining this webinar. So
Our
today,
pleasure.
so today in our webinar, we will cover what is ONDC, what is MyStore, how to register on MyStore, the incentives laid out by the ONDC's end, and how you can scale and generate on the network. So let's start our webinar on how ONDC can help you as a seller on the network to accelerate your business. So let me just share my screen. So the foremost question that comes to everybody's mind is what exactly is ONDC? ONDC is an open network for digital commerce. This is an initiative by Government of India. So the main idea is to create a UPI-like architecture for an e-commerce industry. ONDC wants to reduce the entry barrier and provide a level playing field to all the sellers, be it a local producer, a kirana shop owner, a brand, or an enterprise. The whole ecosystem is built to accelerate the e-commerce adoption in India. There are different components on the network, starting from the seller. Sellers will get registered to different seller apps, one such as MyStore, which is connected to the network. And from the buyer side, the buyers will buy the products from different buyer apps like MyStore, Paytm, PhonePe, which is again connected to the network. So what are the projections? What is the future that ONDC has thought of for next 5 years? They want to penetrate in more than 75% of PIN codes in India with 90 crores buyers and 12 lakh sellers on pan-India level. See factors that can help the network to achieve this target. So some of the factors I've laid down here. Firstly, in the current market scenario, there are few players which are very dominating, like Amazon and Flipkart. But what ONDC has thought of, they want to give a level playing field to multiple players which are connected to the ONDC network. Currently, the marketplaces are focusing on tier 1 cities. Vis-a-vis, ONDC wants to penetrate not only in tier 1, but in tier 2, 3, 4 also. The marketplace policies, which are very rigid, does not support all the sellers. Only the big sellers are getting benefited. Vis-a-vis on ONDC network, they want all the sellers to dictate their own policies, rules, pricing, everything. Currently, the local marketplaces, which are targeting small cities, small areas, they find it very difficult to survive. But on ONDC network, all the local marketplaces can compete with big players with their own policies. Last but not the least, the commissions that we are paying as seller on different marketplaces like Amazon and Flipkart is huge. We are paying almost 20 to 30% commission. Vis-a-vis on ONDC, the cost of coming online and selling online has reduced drastically. So now coming from ONDC, let's understand how MyStore can help you come onto the ONDC network as a seller. So MyStore is an ONDC connected marketplace. I just want to give you a brief background how we have started and come and built MyStore. We are actually a more than 8 years old company in the e-commerce domain. We have a very battle-tested and very flexible e-commerce platform by the name of Store Hippo. We are currently catering to clients like Berger Paints, Amul, Dow Chemical, Cloud9, Mafatlal, GSC, Australian Dental Association. So we are not only present in India, but globally we are present. We are currently on the network. We are there from on both the sides, from the seller side as well as the buyer side. So my store provides, because of the Store Report platform, we could come up with a very comprehensive admin panel for our sellers, where you can manage all your inventory, orders, your payouts, your returns and refunds. But to do that, you need to first start on My Store. First, you need to register, list your products, and then fulfill your orders. So the first step is to register. So first, there's a registration form that you have to fill in and do the KYC flow. You have to go and you need to get this KYC approved from the MyStore team. And then the second step involves to list your products on the panel. So there are three different ways you can list your products. Firstly, you can do it manually. If you have only 5 to 10 products, you can go to the admin panel and list your products. Secondly, if you have a lot of products, you have bulk products, then you want to upload those products using a CSV format. So we have a sample CSV which you can export and then add all your products in that CSV format and then import it back to the MyStore admin panel. And thirdly, which we have created connectors. So if you're currently present on different e-commerce platforms or on a marketplace as a seller like Amazon, then we have created connectors for Amazon, Shopify, WooCommerce, and then we are coming up with Magento connector as well in near future. So it's a very simple, in few clicks, you can get added to MyStore admin panel. Third and the foremost part is how you can fulfill your orders. Again, there are different ways to fulfill. First is the on-network logistics. You can choose from the pre-existing logistic providers on the network. And then secondly, if you don't want to use those logistic providers, you can integrate your own account which you have with your logistic provider and have your own shipping rates. So some of these screenshots I've taken from the admin panel. These are the real-time logistic rates from the network. These are some of the integrations, logistic integrations that if you have an account, we can do that. This is how you can manage your shipments. Now coming back to what are the capabilities that Store Hippo can provide you as a seller. So these are the different capabilities that we have on our seller app. So starting from the order management, inventory management, you can do GST compliant invoicing. You have order notifications you can send to your buyers. You can connect to your own domain, which we are working on. This functionality we are working on. It is still not live, but in coming future it will be live. And you can manage your returns and refunds on the MyStore admin panel. So again, these are some of the screenshots how you can achieve this. So this is how you can manage your products on the admin panel. You can publish and unpublish your products as per your wish. So these are the pricing, the images that you want to add to your product. This is how you will manage your orders. This is the detailed summary of your order. This is how the invoices would look like with the GST, complete details of the GST. So not only this, because we have a very strong multilingual functionality on Store Hippo, we are providing a multilingual website, a buyer app. So currently we are present in 3 primary languages. First is English, Hindi, and Kannada. So your customers, you can actually penetrate into pan-India level and provide customers their products in their local languages. So I think this will increase your customer base in different parts of the India. Your customers can also access MyStore from different devices. We have both iOS and Android apps. We also have PWS site. so they can access from any device, anytime. Another one more very attractive feature that we are providing to our sellers is a dedicated page, a dedicated seller page on Mystore with the QR code functionality. So this QR code, your customers can download this QR code, and whenever they want to make their purchase on the network, they just have to go to this QR code and they can see your catalog. So it's very easily you can download it, and your customers can download it and they can see your catalog. Another thing, if you have a retail presence, then you can actually, print out this QR code and paste it in your physical outlets, so that customers who are visiting your store can again, scan through this code and see your catalog on the network. You can promote this QR code on your social media channels to attract more customers. So some of the brands we are working with on Mystore Seller app are these. We are completely industry agnostic, and we are catering to clients across industries. So as you can see, there are different trade organizations, government trade organizations we are working with: NSC, SFAC, JKTPO. We have different Ayurveda brands. We have, from the home decor category, we have brands. So we are working with brands across industries. So now coming to the very important point, that why we should be there on the network. What are the advantages? What are the benefits we'll get being a seller on the network? So some of the advantages that I have put down are like ONDC network is a very powerful sales channel. You don't have to spend on marketing. It is a very organic channel. You just have to, there is no upfront cost required. You just get added on Mystore seller panel and start selling. So there are three different steps that I've already covered, and you can cater to your customers on pan India level. It's very easy to onboard and manage your product catalog. As compared to in current marketplaces, you have to go through a very lengthy registration process. On ONDC network, you have to simply register once and then you are good to go. You don't have to re-register on any other seller app. You just have to register on any one seller app, and you can upload your products, and your products will be available to different buyer apps. So to all the buyer apps, for example, if you have onboarded with us on Mystore, your products will be available on all the buyer apps which are there on the network. So Mystore, for example, Mystore buyer app, Paytm, PhonePe, Microsoft, any buyer app which is there on the network, your products will be available there. Third is the commission part. So as you know, currently you are paying very, very huge commissions to the marketplaces like Amazon and Flipkart. On ONDC network, maximum from 3 to 7% of the commission is what we are charging from both the seller and the buyer side. So now the commissions have reduced, so there are higher margins and more revenue. And as you will be available on different buyer apps, so there'll be more visibility. Now coming to the incentives that ONDC has laid down for different components on the network. There is the seller incentive, there is buyer incentive, there's buyer app, seller app. So there are a lot many incentives that ONDC team has come out with, and they're very lucrative. So for example, like from the seller side, there is a 50 rupees. So there is a 50 rupees that a seller can get on every successful order. The only condition is that the minimum value, MOV, the minimum order value should be 100 rupees, including logistics. Another very big incentive that ONDC has given to sellers is if they are able to accomplish 2,500 genuine transactions, then a seller can avail an incentive of rupees 50,000. And this whole incentive program is till 31st March. So I would like Dhruv or Vidushi to throw some light on the incentives that are being laid down by ONDC.
Hi. So basically, the incentives that we have rolled out take care of the incentive for the sellers for a successful order. We also have incentive for your buyers as well. So for you to tell your buyers that you are getting a 50 rupees discount, which is being passed on to the buyers for every successful order that they are placing as well. So there's incentive to do that demand generation as well. And for the sellers, of course, there's a 50 rupees incentive that is given out for every successful order. And by successful order, we mean a successfully delivered order, as long as the order value is rupees 100 and above. Over and above that, as Kriti mentioned, there is also an incentive to do that at speed, which is first 10 sellers in the network that will complete first 10 sellers at a seller app level that will complete 2,500 transactions, completed transactions, delivered transactions, would be given out a bonus incentive as well. So this is something that has been running like since January, and it's applicable till 31st of March. So I would urge all of you to make complete use of it, and for you to be able to do it at speed, there is a discount which is being given at a buyer level as well.
Yes.
So just to add, actually, there's also an incentive for delivery partners at this point of time. The idea is that ONDC is trying to incentivize every ecosystem player to be able to take the overall transactions on the network up. So yes, again, what Vidushi said and what Kriti said, I think right now is the right time for all of you to become a part of the network and start taking advantage of these incentive programs with the ultimate objective of growing the number of transactions which are happening on the network.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as Vidushi and Dhruv rightly said, so these are the incentives from the seller side. Coming on to the buyer side incentives. So, ONDC has, is running a coupon code by the name of ONDC 50, by which a buyer can avail a discount of rupees 50 on every purchase. Again, the MOV has to be rupees 100, including the shipping charges. And the last date to avail this incentive is 31st March. So I think you as sellers have to inform your buyers about this discount that they can, take on the network, and you will also get incentivized, and your buyers will also get incentivized. So it's, I think, an equally good proposition from both the sides. So I think you should take advantage of this, and you ask your buyers to buy on the network. Thank you, Vidushi and Dhruv. So now, again, a very important part is how to generate traffic and sales in collaboration with ONDC. So first is you can always reach out to us, Mystore, as we are your companion. So as a seller app, you can tell us your stories, your USPs, and we will promote you on our different social media platforms. You can again share a very compelling stories with videos, with photographs, and we will share it with ONDC team so that they can also promote you as a seller on the network. Thirdly, you can provide different discounts to your sellers. Since your commissions have reduced down drastically from the current marketplaces to 6 to 7%, I think you can pass some of the savings to your buyers as discounts or coupon codes. You can run different coupon codes and give these, little discounts to your buyers so that they can come and buy on the network. Again, not only these, the more effective, marketing you will do, you'll get more, you'll be able to generate more revenue. I think most of you are present on the social media platform. So doing social media marketing, content marketing, video marketing will definitely help boost traffic. And to informing your followers or your buyers about these incentives will again help boost traffic and generate more revenue. Thank you. This is all from my end. And we are now open to the FAQ session. We already have a list of questions that you all have raised while registering. So let me just share my other screen where we can see all the questions that have come out from you all. So we will not take all the questions since we have already covered most of them during our webinar, during our presentation. So just to take few of the questions, first is how to increase visibility and do keyword optimization. So can you all see? I think you can see my screen that in the Mystore admin panel, we are already taking care of the SEO capabilities of any seller. So we are already taking care of the title, the description, and the SEO part in the our backend. But if you as a seller wants to add your product SEO related fields, you are open to do that. So once you'll go to the admin panel, you'll see the product section. Under products, you'll have a miscellaneous section. So under miscellaneous, there is a section by the name of SEO. You can add the title of the product, the description, and the keywords. So this will help you optimize your keywords. Now, the second question is the feasibility of non-ONDC cities seller. So currently, I think Dhruv and Vidushi can also answer this question. Would you like to take this, Dhruv and Vidushi?
Sorry, the feasibility of non-ONDC city seller. Uh, can you just repeat can you just explain what that question means?
So basically, if ONDC is not present, primarily in the beta phase, the ONDC is present in Bangalore, in Delhi, and in Tier 2 in Meerut. So where the ONDC is not present, what about those sellers?
So I'll break this down into three parts, to be honest. The first is our visibility. While we are already beta live in three cities now, we've got Bangalore, Delhi, and Meerut. Of course, we have a larger nationwide rollout plan, which we're planning to execute by the end of April, where specifically for grocery and F&B, we're targeting opening up hyperlocal deliveries or these two categories in about 20 cities across India. At the same time, there could be D2C brands which have intercity pan-India serviceability who can onboard if they're using intercity logistics for delivering products. That's a capability that they can already onboard with. We're also working with buyer apps on showcasing those sellers across India. So yes, working closely with the buyer applications in 20 cities to open up hyperlocal deliveries and pan India for sellers which are ready to deliver there. Um, the third part would be that as far as hyperlocal grocery and F&B is concerned, of course, the idea is to reach a certain optimum number of sellers within each of these cities before the buyer apps will be able to open up their demand funnels and start generating demand there. So yes, once sellers come on board, we will work very closely with the buyer apps to open the demand there as well.
Yes, absolutely. So we need to have a
Yeah.
better, I think, yeah. Rajiv, you can add on to that, right?
Yes. Let me add on to that, and I thanks Dhruv for explaining that. I think this question comes from many sellers, and I think the misconception, because as in ONDC on the media, everybody sees that ONDC is available in Bangalore and then Meerut. So the misconception is that only the sellers from those cities can register on the network, while that is not the case. So irrespective of your location, you can still register on the network. In fact, there are almost 85 cities that are supported in the network. And so you can register only.
Rajiv, the
Yeah.
numbers grown. The numbers grown to about 150 cities now. So we've got sellers
Okay.
in 150 cities on the network today. So yes, that's growing rapidly, and there's no
Right.
restriction there. Yes.
Right. So from seller side, whichever city you are from, you can still join the network. It's only that the marketing activities and focus has been on limited cities because the effort from ONDC is to increase the seller density. So buyers have more choices and better user experience in those cities.
So thanks, Rajiv and Dhruv, to answer this question. I think moving on to the next question is why is the hardware category of products not enabled on Mystore? So it's not that we are completely, as I said, we are completely industry agnostic. So hardware is part of the home and decor category. So I think whosoever has asked this question, so please come on board, register yourself, and definitely we will add your product catalog. So another question is like, how can small distributors, retailers, SMEs, manufacturers who do not have expertise, capital, awareness, and inclination towards digitalizing their business can get incentivized on the network. So first of all, you don't need any expertise to be there on the network. We, as a seller app, Mystore seller app, is do-it-yourself, very user-friendly seller app. You don't again need a capital to start on the network. Mystore is completely free of cost. There is no upfront cost. You just have to start paying when your orders will start flowing in. Awareness, we're talking about the awareness. We are already running a lot of digital campaigns. In fact, recently ONDC has started with FOS. So there's field on street activity that ONDC has incorporated, and they're being very aggressive. So we are expecting more penetration in more cities with more sellers and buyers from both the sides. And yes, so and about the incentives, I've just explained to you how ONDC has planned different incentives for different components on the network.
Yeah, just one thing, Kriti, like somebody has mentioned like inclination. So I think sellers need to have inclination,
Yes,
because unless you have inclination, I mean, nothing can be done. Like everybody is not lucky as Newton that apple will fall in the lap while you are resting. So if you want to digitize your business and get it grow your business, then you need to have inclination. Rest everything, ONDC and Mystore will take care.
right.
But you need to have a desire and inclination to start.
Yes, absolutely, Reggie. So, so again, regarding the commissions, fixed charges, moving on to the next question. So regarding the commissions, fixed charges, collection charges, and the shipping charges, I think I've already told about the commission structure. So fixed charges, there are no fixed charges. Collection charges, yeah, again, it's a D+2. So once your delivery is done, then we will reimburse the amount from our buyer app. And the shipping charges, you can fetch live rates on the network, on the Mystore admin panel. Whatever the live rates, the live rates on the network, you can see that on the Mystore admin panel, and go ahead and fulfill your orders. So the next question says, what will will there be any exposure to international markets? So I think again, Rajiv or from ONDC teams, Vidushi or Dhruv, if you would like to throw some light here.
So yes, I mean, as ONDC, we're absolutely working on this use case. I can tell you that right now we're just piloting with one buyer application and seller application just to figure out from an API perspective what changes we need to make to our current set of protocols. I think we'll have the first test case executed by the end of April, and then we'll look at exploring this in a larger sense with more number of buyer applications and seller applications. So yes, ONDC is absolutely working on this, and we will bring in buyer applications that will be able to bring orders from international markets as well. That's one of the use cases we want to enable.
Thanks, Dhruv, for answering this question. So the next question is, what are the categories of products that can be listed? So I think I have multiple times mentioned that Mystore is completely industry agnostic, completely. So you can come up with any category on Mystore application, and we will help you with the product upload. So the next question says is, I have uploaded our products on Mystore. How does Mystore plan to attract customers? Again, I have taken this up and answered your query. And the last is, if this is applicable to the service industry, and if yes, how it works. I think, Rajiv, you can take this question and,
Right. So the network has plans to support like service industries, specifically the appointment bookings and slot booking and all that. But as of now, while that happens, you can commoditize your service as a product, then you can sell on network. For example, if you are selling a tour package, and tour package is designed for certain specific dates, like a tour package to Shimla starting from 21st for 7 days. If you can commoditize that and have a price fixed for that in inventory, then you can sell on the network. I hope that answered the question.
And I hope we have covered most of the questions that sellers have asked while registering for the webinar. So now we are open to discussions. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to raise it here. We have panelists sitting here to answer your queries.
I think some people have posted the messages in. Yeah. Yes, Anand, you can go ahead and unmute here.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rajiv. Uh, Hi, my name is Anand. So I wanted to understand exactly. See, you guys have incentives, and the ONDC platform has got incentives. I understand all that aspect. What I'm
Mhm,
trying to understand is how exactly. We're also discussing. You have brought up the point that okay, buyer traffic is going to come in via the buyer apps. But
mhm,
in actuality, what is the traffic that? How we can push that traffic? What are the levers available that we can do, whether it is uh, paid marketing, whether it is any kind of marketing to basically get those buyers and get them to buy your ONDC. I understand you have a QR code that can be published. That's a good
mhm,
option. But still, what happens is the buyer apps are limited right now. Paytm is one buyer app which is working in a very haphazard manner. Believe me,
mhm,
I've got first-hand experience with that.
mhm.
Now, with Mystore's buyer app, let me be biased there. It's working beautifully. Okay. Then I have experienced, I've tried using two other buyer apps, which I'm not going to name. I named Paytm because it's the biggest one. So then
Mhm,
I'm going to go to name the next two ones. Their buyer
mhm,
apps are not working at all.
mhm.
Again, there some images are not coming, some things are not getting synchronized, something either is breaking up. So if you have an incentive goal of, my whole point was you have an incentive goal of 2,500 orders. Here is a guy
Right,
talking to you who would like to fulfill this on the day one. So
right,
how
right.
exactly can we do that?
Yeah, sure, Anand. And I'm sure like all the participants, they're trying hard and e-commerce is a complex use case. We could achieve, and thanks for the compliment. We could achieve this like because like Kriti mentioned, we have like 8+ years of extensive experience. So we have a lot of knowledge and we can leverage all that 8 years experience to provide this great experience, which I hope everybody likes. In terms of promoting that, I understand like your products will be available on buyer app, but as a seller, when you're promoting your product, you will be promoting a single landing page, like if you are running a Google ads or sharing something on the social media, you need one landing page to land your customers where they can purchase and avail these benefits, like maybe ONDC 50 coupon code. So in that case, like I think Mystore is there to support you, provide you that independent link that you can use to share on all your social media channel and drive traffic to that.
That Thank you so much for the explanation, but that gives me the levers to pull on my own. I am
Right, but
asking,
Mhm,
I am asking. See, I know it's a chicken and egg kind of situation. Unless and
mhm,
until you have enough buyer apps, you can't pull in more buyers. I understand that. What I'm trying to understand is what is the current process available, how we can use that incentive, how we can get that incentive, because what it is available right now does not give me a positive feel that I'll be in the top run for that incentive scheme. My purpose is not the incentive. Well, again,
mhm,
I use that
mhm,
as a starting point. My purpose is not that. And
mhm,
Praful, who's on the call, who can agree to that. My point
mhm.
is how together the sellers can grow with ONDC platform or Mindstore platform as a whole, because this is a platform which can tomorrow address and which can tomorrow what do you call, basically stand in tall in front of rest of the other marketplaces. This is the only thing that can stand tall in
Absolutely.
the
Right, of
future.
course. And the potential, like nobody has the slightest doubt, despite the initial teething issues that you mentioned. I mean, nobody has the slightest of the doubt that this is going to revolutionize the e-commerce industry, right? And then, yes, ONDC team has done their best to give, I think, giving an incentive of maybe 50-50, like a blanket, like 100 rupees incentive for your products. So, but we are open to suggestions, and I think ONDC team is open to suggestions that how we can expand or create like more demand generation. If this incentive plan is not enough, then you can feel free to give your suggestions, and definitely ONDC team will consider that.
How about a suggestion that the way you are actually asking the sellers to publish these QR codes and make the purchases and basically push the customers between. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to ask my design team to start working on a banner or something that we can put across and see how we can promote it on social media channels. That's a separate thing. But coming back to how about ONDC? See, ONDC has got a lot of hype around.
Anand, let me take that question. All right. So there are two ways of looking at it. There are there are multiple levers that we are using with different buyer applications in order to promote the order generation that they are currently doing. I think, like you said, it's a chicken and egg story. While on one side we have to straddle the supply and ensure that there is enough supply. At the same time, we are also working with each of our buyer applications in order to figure out what's the kind of OPD targets that they should be taking so that they're bringing on orders as well. So as a part of our target today, we do about 260 orders per day, which is not much. I agree. The idea is to get to about 5,000 orders per day by mid of April, which is a part of the larger national rollout plan. So again, we're working with each of those buyer applications so that we are able to pull demand and generate orders. But a part of why we launched this incentive program and we are incentivizing per order for the sellers is for the sellers to also start looking at their own demand generation activities. And like you said, this QR code that Rajiv is giving you, the reason we're giving 50 rupees behind that is for you to be able to use that, advertise that QR code, and also start generating demand on the side. So the idea is, while we are working with the buyer apps to do this, we also want to have sellers generating their own demand. And that's why we've launched this particular incentive program.
Yeah, hello.
Thanks for
Rajiv and
answering the question.
The next question.
Sure,
I
hi.
hope, Mangal, we are able to satisfy you and we are able to give you answer to your question.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I look forward to working more with Mystore. Yeah.
Okay.
It's, as I said in the beginning, together is how we want to take the journey.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, sure. Look forward.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, hi, Rajiv and Kriti. My question is regarding the Unicommerce and the Store Repo integration part. So how much time it will take to get integration between the Unicommerce and Store Repo to get the smooth process between the inventory sync and the order sync?
So we do have like Mystore is built on Store Repo platform. So we do have capability to like Unicommerce. So we have not exposed to all the sellers on Mystore that yet. But if we have a use case and then we can enable that. So you reach out to Mystore team and then we will look into the case by case basis. So we have not publicly opened that yet to all the Mystore sellers, but we are approving it based on a case to case basis.
Okay, and my second question is regarding how the products will get live at the Paytm buyer app if the products are live at Mystore app.
So I think there were two versions of the network protocols that were going on. And I think Paytm and Mystore, they were on two different protocols. But I think we are in the final stages of that integration is there in the pre-prod or the beta version. So it should be going live most likely this week. It should be live on Paytm as well.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Rajiv, Nagasimha this side from my experts. So first of all, thanks for this opportunity. So one query is connected to what Shivam was asking. Let's say once products are live on Mystore as a seller, so where all the products would be live in terms of visibility, what are the marketplaces where our products will be live, so that it will be easier for us to also accordingly plan our marketing activities. Because earlier Anand was questioning, like point was, we independently as a brand or a seller, we will do marketing from our side for our, let's say if we have a website, we will try and generate traffic for us. With the help of ONDC, we want to expedite that or increase our bandwidth. So that is the whole purpose. So if you can help us in both these points, that will be helpful.
So first question is like where all your products will be available. So if you go to the ONDC site, so there is a list of all the participants that are there. That includes the buyer apps also. So of course that list is currently includes certain participants, but that list is going to grow with future. So I think you should refer to that to find out like where all those products will be listed. So all the buyer apps, the product will be listed on all the buyer apps on the network.
Okay,
that are listed on the ONDC site.
So once we are
Yes.
live on a seller app through Mystore, all the buyer apps who have associated with ONDC, in all those buyer applications, our products will be live.
Right. Right. As
Understood.
long as
Great.
you have all the information and all that, so
Of
you
course,
need to
correct.
make sure. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Rajiv, and how
True, true.
much time it will take to get? I have integrated the account with my Shopify, but the product is
Mhm.
not seen yet. So, is there any kind of process over there?
Yeah, let me. Why don't you shoot out an email, because we have a smooth Shopify channel integration. So in fact, there are a lot of sellers who have connected and imported their catalog from Shopify. So why don't you shoot an email, and we will check if there is an issue with the credentials or the way the integration, and we will get it resolved. It only
Sure.
takes like less than a
Couple of
few minutes
minutes.
to get
A few
imported.
minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So Shivam, you shoot out an email to Praful. I think we will look into that issue.
Okay, fine.
And I think the second question you were asking about, like the promoting and all that, I think Anand also asked that. And then, so ONDC team, if you, like Kriti mentioned in the slide also, if you share the compelling videos and compelling user stories, then ONDC team through their media reach, they will also be happy to promote your products.
But how can we share it? I mean, is there a
You can
specific mail ID or something that we can share to?
Yeah, you can share it with the Mystore team, and then we'll pass it on.
Fantastic, fantastic. Sure, right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In fact, we can, send a mailer to all the seller participants on Mystore about that, how you can do it, what are the different aspects you need to focus on, and about the different images and the videos that you can share it with us, and we will pass on to the ONDC team. We can work together on that.
Perfect. Thank you.
So, any more questions?
I think we're done with those
So
questions.
some of the
Yeah.
questions are in chat, Adib sir. So we can take those as well.
So, I think,
Yeah,
Praful, we
sure.
have most of them. So, there is one universal
One is
marketing.
from the universal marketing. Yeah.
So,
So
can you?
who will collect the buyer's payment? So just to give them the journey of the payment, like how the payment will get settled into the account of the seller, right? And as we know, like buyer app will collect the payment and they'll deduct their commission, and then they'll settle it to, after the delivery of the product, they'll settle it to the seller NP, right? Seller app, and seller app will deduct their commission and then they'll settle it to the seller. So that's the answer for universal marketing question. So any other questions from anyone?
I think there's
No
a follow-up
question,
question.
guys.
Do we? Yeah.
Sapna, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, I joined late, unfortunately. I just want to confirm that from where I can recording.
Sorry, Sana, can you please repeat your question?
Yeah, actually, I joined late, so I just want to understand from where I can get this recording session.
We will be uploading this on our YouTube channel, and we can share it with you. We can share it with all the sellers.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Kriti ji and Rajiv ji, thanks for your time in hosting this fantastic presentation. Srinivas here from Bangalore. We have a brand called Radix Nutritive. We are dealing in millet products, and our website is hosted on Wix. So the
Okay.
whole idea of barcode, what we had been exposed right now. So can we host that particular barcode on our website too as an image?
The barcode, the QR code. Sorry.
Correct. Yeah, you're right. QR code, not barcode. My bad. Yeah, QR code.
Yeah. On your current website on Wix, or like
That's
only on the seller page?
On my current Wix website.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
can.
can do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So once
And
anybody will
also-
scan that, they will come to your page on the Mystore buyer app, and they can purchase and avail this incentive. Yeah.
Wonderful. And the same can happen in all our social media accounts, let's say. We are
Yes,
authorized
yes.
to do that, right?
Yes,
Wonderful.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So on every seller page, there is a QR code download. So you can download it from there only on Mystore buyer app, and you can start sharing that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So I think there is another question in the chat. What is claim process of damaged lot shipment and wrong shipments return? So Rajiv sir, I would like you to answer this. If they are using on-network logistics, so what's the process of this, and how we can escalate to the on-network logistic partners? So
Right. So as there are like multiple components like buyer app and seller app and seller. So and buyer is interfacing the buyer app. So buyer actually raise the grievance through the buyer app, which works with the seller app to get it resolved. So currently that process involves like the manual step, but there is a IGM process, inter grievance management process that ONDC has come up with. Once that is in place, that process will be more streamlined and automated. So to handle all these issues and claims.
any other questions from anyone?
I had a couple of questions, which is related to returns and reverse shipment. How does that work? And also pay on delivery.
So the pay on delivery, I think the provision is there in the network. I mean, currently not many buyer apps or Mystore buyer apps, we are not supporting like pay on delivery. So currently it's prepaid orders that we are supporting right now. And you can also specify as a seller that whether the product is returnable or cancelable or not. So, and the buyer apps will respect that. So, but if you make your product as returnable, then whichever buyer app the buyer will purchase the product from, they can initiate the return from there.
Okay, who handles the logistics of that? Would that
The
be the
seller
same?
will have to do that. So it will come back to you as a seller that this is the return request, and then you will have to probably arrange a reverse pickup of that order.
Okay, so if I use the logistics on the network, then can I use the same logistics for reverse?
Yes, absolutely, you can do
okay.
that.
Thanks.
I have a question in this, so sorry to barge in between, Rajiv. So
Yeah,
when a
sure.
reverse pickup is done, how exactly the charges being incurred and who incurs those charges?
So like in every marketplace also, the current scenario, the seller incurs those reverse shipment charges, right? I mean, so in fact, like there are marketplaces who incurs a penalty also on the top of that. But right, I think the reverse charges, the reverse shipment charges, the seller will have to bear that.
Okay, and another question on top of that. Sorry to again top it up. So let's say we want to get in touch with the buyer, connect with them. So that's all allowed in the network, so that we can settle it out. What exactly is the problem? Why they want to return the product?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's an open network. That's what the open means. So the buyers have access to the seller details and sellers have access to the buyer details. So it is not like proprietary and nobody is hiding anything like the traditional marketplaces. So if you can resolve it by contacting buyers at buyer end, then nothing like that. I think that's the best way, the fastest way.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Is any more questions?
Yes, so I have a question. How the COD payment will collect and settle in seller's account?
So currently we are not promoting COD. So as Rajiv just said, so it's a prepaid orders we are focusing on.
Oh, so got it. Thank you.
So another question in chat from Manigandan. So there will be many brands in same category. Then how will you give preference in listing preferences in Mystore? So
Yeah. So to answer that, like different buyer apps will have like different logics, and that logics as per the ONDC team, ONDC network guidelines. So there has to be predefined ways. So on Mystore app, if you will see, we are listing the sellers in the order of the distance, for example. So we are showing those sellers first, like who are near to the customer's location. And because ONDC is hyper local in nature, so we know like exactly where the seller is based and where the buyer is based. And apart from that, when you search, the search results are shown in the, it's a mix of like relevance as well as the distance that is used to show the search results.
Is it also, are the search results also sorted based on total purchase value?
No, I mean, currently no, but So we have a sorting by price, but given the size of the products on the network, we will be enabling the filters or facets on the listing page. Those will be more. So you can, if you want to search, if a buyer want to search, they can search like I want to search products only between this price range. So that we are going to add maybe by end of
No,
this week
no.
or next week.
What I meant is like if there is a specific product that a customer searches for, and
Mhm.
if that product is sold by two different sellers who
Mhm.
are at placed at different distances, but the seller who is at a larger distance from the buyer's location is offering a lower shipping charge, due to which the total cost of the product is going to be lower. That kind of sorting.
Yeah. So as a buyer app, like currently, we do not have any knowledge that these two products are related, even if their title are same or the name are same.
Okay.
Right. However, like there are discussions going on with the ONDC team where we are having a master catalog item or identification like GTIN or EAN number that we will use to identify both these sellers. In that case, we will club those all those products from different sellers into one product, and then when the user will go to that product page, then we will show the all the sellers that are available, and there you can sort by distance or sort by pricing or sort by the rating will also come on the ONDC network soon.
Thank you.
Rachib, just to check, like, is there a point of contact that we can reach out to from Mystore and in terms of helping us with respect to social media marketing and then collaterals, things like that?
Yes, definitely we can help you there, and we will share the numbers with you.
So I have pinged you. I have pinged my number in the chat. So it's Praful this side. So I'll again ping my number. So you can reach out to me. Yeah.
Great. Sure. Thank you.
So another question in chat. What are the different protocols advice given by the ONDC for listing preferences? One is geography that we discussed. Then what are the other guidelines for listing preference?
So I think Dhruv or Vidushi can take this question.
Can you, I mean, whoever's asked that question, can you explain what that means? What do you mean by listing preferences that ONDC has imposed? Because I don't think there are any, but maybe we can go deeper into the question.
So Manikandan, can you please unmute yourself and
Yeah, tell me. Please repeat. Hello. Good evening.
so Manikandan, whatever question you have asked, can you please explain?
Yeah, just now you informed that whichever is nearer, the seller and the buyer who are nearer, they will give the preference. Like that you told just now. Like that, there may be many guidelines given by the ONDC, so that first come first serve, so that we can, while listing itself, I will take care what are the things to be considered to expand my business.
No, so Manikandan, okay, understood the question. So each of the buyer applications is going to have its own algorithm on the basis of which it will list the various products or sellers that they are displaying. I mean, even starting from the category, they will use different algorithms. In certain categories, it may be a store listing. In certain categories, it may be a product listing. It's completely up to the buyer applications to develop those functionalities and those algorithms. ONDC has only mandated that each of the buyer applications need to display all the sellers in that particular category that are returning the search request from the ONDC gateway. So no buyer application can unilaterally take a decision to not showcase a particular seller. So there are certain guidelines at that level that ONDC has prescribed, but the listing preferences will be that of the respective buyer applications itself.
Okay.
I hope Manikandan, we have answered your query. I mean, if you have anything else to
but still we have to fine tune. Even everyone has to be fine tuned to how to.
No, absolutely. I think, and maybe Rajiv will agree, even currently all the buyer apps are working on their own listing algorithms.
Right.
ONDC, of course, has to also enable certain features that will make the search richer and enable more such functionalities. So that's going to be work in progress, Manikandan, and you'll see a lot of improvements happen across the buyer apps in a short period of time.
Yeah, there are many activities. Like I mentioned, one is like grouping the products from the same time into one. then adding like more facets so buyer can specifically search for like what they are actually searching for. So there are many improvements. It's definitely a work in progress. Yeah.
So one question here, Srini here again from Bangalore.
Hmm.
The question is, let's say if we were to onboard ourselves as seller on Mystore and ONDC platform. So and let's say, for example, we have 5 different buyer apps, including Paytms of the world, or let's say Amazon. So let's say once we are onboarded, so automatically based on the feed, right, we will be flushed. Our products will be flushed to the respective buyer apps. So
That
is
is
my
correct.
understanding correct that we need not separately go and apply ourselves or onboard ourselves into Mr. Paytms of the world or Amazons of the world separately?
No, your absolutely understanding is correct, and that
Okay,
is the beauty of the network.
Yes.
wonderful.
So
So
once you're
can
registered
we,
on one
can,
seller, you will be available on all the buyer apps.
right. So it's basically a conduit, if we can say, for a much
Right.
bigger marketplace network, e-commerce marketplace network.
That is
In
correct.
a
It
nutshell, in
saves.
a nutshell.
Yes, 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 yes. The network
Wonderful.
effect will be huge. Like, I mean, right now there are 5, 6, but there could be like hundreds of them. So, and through one conduit, like you are reaching out to these 90 crore prospective buyers, like which will be there on the network.
So if my understanding correct is basically the master data or catalog, product catalog is my ONDC. Once I'm there, I need not replicate on to any other buyer store, because anyway, if not today, tomorrow you will have another 10 buyer stores
Yeah,
happening.
that is correct.
That
That is
saves our
correct.
time also as sellers. That helps our time in terms of managing our catalog,
Yeah.
data, unification of content, so to speak. Wow,
Yes,
that's
that
very
is correct.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay, I think we are done with the questions.
So if you have any other question, you can always email to us. I think Praful has already mentioned his email ID. We'll be more than happy to answer your queries. And we have shared a number also. So again, contact him if you have any query, anything, any sort, we are there to help you. And thank you again for participating and taking out time for this webinar. I hope we were able to help you somehow. And in any more help, as I just said, we are there.
Kriti ma'am, just want to add one more point. As we know, like festival is coming, Holi is right there. So I just want to add one more thing. Like as we are having all of our sellers, so just club some of the gift hampers and upload on my store seller app so that it will be available on other buyer apps as well. So we'll get
Yeah.
more good traction for
Yes.
those
So
orders.
again, just to add on here, Praful, we have already created one dedicated page for Holi, and we are planning to promote that page on our social media channels, and we would like ONDC also to promote that. So please share your catalog with us, with respect to Holi, and we will add to our list and promote it on different social media channels.
I'm so sorry to interrupt here, Kriti. How
No,
do
that's
we how do we send you those products which are related to the Holi
you just
festival?
email us. You just let us know. Either a phone call or an email will do, and we will do the
So I can
needful.
share it with Praful. Is that okay?
Yes,
That
absolutely.
is good.
All right,
And if
perfect.
there is a holy name in the title of the product, then we will automatically pick it up anyway.
Yes.
No, it's the
absolutely.
name is not there. The name is not there. Holy name is not there. But the particular product is useful during the Holi for, let's say, removing the colors or for skin
Okay.
moisturization. So it's basically the purpose of the product is that.
No, you just share
Okay.
an email with Praful and we will do the needful.
All right. Thank you so much.
Kriti, one last query. Yeah. So for some of the products, let's say, for example, if you want to limit our deliveries or products to specific pin codes from our location, is that possible? This is for a
Yes.
section of category or products where we would, let's say, which are perishable, things like that. Is it
Yes,
possible?
you can always mention the pin codes, the products that will be visible on that particular pin codes. You can always mention that in the admin panel. There's a provision for that. And if you need any help, again, you can contact Praful and he will be there to help you there.
Sure. Right.
So both the supports are there. At the seller level also, you can specify like your product will be available in specific pin codes or cities. And at a product level also, you can specify that.
Sure. Thank you.
I think It's time to say bye now. And if you have any queries, drop us an email or we are just a phone call away. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thanks, everyone.